Okay, so I was torn between uh, streaming and recording a video, and I thought, yeah, I need a video for this week. So, because I'm playing 1 cent, 2 cent, and I'm just enjoying watching it. I wanted to share. Okay, they've limped in. Probably not a good hand. Maybe it's aces. We'll see because the button has raised to uh ooh ooh 4.5, and the low jack calls and checks it over on the flop. Okay, so there's top of range would be uh set of jacks, set of tens, probably not set of threes. Could have a straight draw that might have just gotten there if they have ace queen. Okay, the button check back the turn, so I don't think they have that king. Because you'd keep betting if you had that king, right? There goes the low jack. Betting the pot. That's 2-1 odds. And the button folds. It's good practice to wait for the big blind, because uh, you're gonna pay it anyway. So if you pay it, say on the button, then it's like on the button. I guess it's fine. This program won't let you bet on the button, but and say you can come in on the hijack, then you only have 1, 2, 3 hands before you have to wait. 4 hands until you have to play the pay the big blind. And also, if you wait for it, then you can sit and watch how people play, which is definitely an advantage. Like now I know that the UTG +1 now, but low jack on the hand we went over earlier. I know that they've, you know, uh, possibly are limping with some strong hands. I know that they can tell, like, when the other person probably doesn't have the hand. You know, they're thinking. They're thinking about what other people are doing, not just the two cards in front of them. I have the perfect setup because my cat likes to sit in my office chair. So I've got a kitchen chair also in the living room. So I just push the office chair off to the side and sit in the kitchen chair, and I've got my son right next to me, within petting distance. Okay, folds the small blind, and they tank, call. Okay, so the big blind probably could raise here and steal the pot. They also have position if the small blind calls that raise, or they can just check and see a free flop. Not free, but uh, they won't have to voluntarily put any more money in the pot. They check. Okay, they both have very wide ranges, like basically any two cards. That's a very wet board, so that's a very good bet from position. So I know to watch out for that player. Okay, Queen 9. I think I'm gonna. I was about to say I'll call a bet from. I'll defend from against late position, but UTG +1 min raises. Ooh, wow. Okay, call from we got a 3-bet and 2 callers. The initial raiser, the small blind, which it's weird to call from the small blind. It's weird to call the cold call from the small blind like that. Because look, they're gonna be out of position the entire hand. Third pot bet, raise the 3-better. Now what could they have? Aces, kings, queens, set of jacks, tens. Now if they have jacks or tens, ooh, that check back. They might have a flush draw that they're bluffing on the flop, and they did not get there if that's the case. They could also have a jack. No, they have queens. Okay, they're afraid of that king. It was the initial better who had the flush draw. We're probably going to fold this even if it... we are going to fold this even if it folds to us. And it's a walk. Going to the button. Ace-4 suited. Now I'll call a bet from late position. Probably shouldn't. Probably should 3-bet if I'm going to play it. Especially with how high the rake is on Microstakes. But, raise it up. Now will I call a 3-bet? Oh. Don't even have to answer the question. I mean, it's still worthwhile to do so. Would I call a 3-bet? I don't know, because I would be in position. Probably not. Ace-4 suited might be a bit loose to call there. Fold. A lot of what good poker is folding. And a lot of poker in general is losing. Okay, so went from UTG +1, button, and big blind. Okay, so +1 and the button are both claiming to have that king, more or less. And now with that check through, you see what I'm saying to the person to my right is, when they get a check back, they recognize that as someone not having something. So if I'm in a hand with them, what I could do is check back the nuts on the turn, so then they bet into me on the river. And I'll put that in my notes. Okay, but I am going to because I want to put covers over everyone's screen names. I'm also going to cover up my notes on them, even if you probably know what I wrote down. I don't have I don't have a clear reason I'm doing that. Uh, you know, it's probably better to do it than not. Now, I was not paying attention to the action, which you should be doing, because then you can get a sense for how your opponents play and be able to come up with exploits for the way they're playing or what they're doing too regular. Now, what's he saying he has? A set, a straight, two pair, fold from me, and it's a walk. This is a lot of what poker is sitting quietly and watching other people play poker. Okay, so he raised to 4 big blinds because he was trying to isolate one of the limpers. Excuse me if that was caught on camera. I'm very sorry. Um, but he could have bet bigger. You usually the rule of thumb people use is you start at 3 big blinds because that's like the old school um, opening raise, and then you add a big blind for every limper. Oh, I hope it folds to me. If it folds to me, I think I'll raise 3. Oh, come on. Come on, let me play from the small blind. Don't you open. Don't. Oh, you. You know what? I'll call. Oh. Okay. I should have raised that. I should have raised that. I've even said it. Calling from the small blind. Not a great idea because you're out of position. You're capping your range. Um, and you don't have the initiative. Okay, this is the limp pot with the blinds versus the cutoff. Flop checks through. And the 8 doesn't really complete anything. But in a limp pot, small blind could have that in their range. 9-8, 10-8. And they take it down. Sometimes poker isn't even watching other people play poker, it's just watching people fold. But luckily, the other players are a lot more active than I am, because A, that means I'm playing better ranges than they are. I'm just going to have better cards in a hand on average. It also means there's plenty of action, so uh, might be able to get my big hands paid off. Okay. Okay, wow. A set versus a straight. Oh, and the board pairs on the river. You know, I always feel like after a certain amount of time thinking of a hand, I'm just better off folding because well, we know you don't have aces, right? Like, it's not a hand that's where it's obvious that you're gonna raise. Now, you could be tricky if you notice people noticing you. You could be tricky. Ooh, hell yeah, I'm gonna min raise this. Although, at these stakes, maybe I should be doing 2.5 on all of them. Steal the blinds. Okay. Have one person sitting out, one seat empty. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're a little short, but we're not exactly short-handed. Letting this one go. Small blind calls. I would have had 10 high. So that flop benefited the initial opener's range, the hijack's range, better. What could they have been calling with? Someone joins, someone leaves. Okay, limp pot. Flop's a little dynamic. You can... What, 9-8, you'd have a gut shot if you get a 10? That's mostly a blank. I mean... You know... The small blind could have... Could have 3. But you wouldn't want to bet it, would you? I mean... I kind of feel like I'm not able to keep up the commentary with going through each hand because I just want to talk about them so much. But I'll get halfway through the flop, it feels like, and the game will move on. Now that's interesting. Limping from the button is a weird choice. Because, like, that could have been a bigger pot, for example. I'm gonna raise to 5. Okay, so I have position on this hand. Excellent. Will I fold to a 3-bet? Doesn't matter. Just took down the blinds. I might open this one too. I'm on the... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I've made a mistake. Oh, that was a misclick. Whoops. Oh, shit. um... I might check. And fold. I did not mean to raise that. Oh dear lord, it got me a chest. It's just give me the ticket. Just why do I have to open a chest? Yeah, I do not feel like I'm playing particularly well. Okay, so cutoff raised to 7, called by the big blind. This is a dry board. It benefits the cutoff's range more than the big blind. Which is worse is like, oh, hijack. Do I raise? No, I don't raise. Okay. Don't think he has that ace. Don't think they have the ace. So I have, marginal value. I think I can call this turn bet. Because queens! Okay, well, my sixes were not good. They played that really passively. Nope. Call from the button. They raised a 3 big blind, so I'm just going to go ahead and make them blue. You can guess what that means. Okay, bet the flop. So maybe a flush draw. Probably not a straight draw. Maybe. What? Actually, 7-8 would give you a straight, wouldn't it? We'll never know what they have. And call more often. Everyone else at the table is nosy. Okay. Big blind's thinking about calling the hijack, and they fold. Ace 3 off. Not even if it folds to me. Okay, limp from under the gun. Raise to 3.5 big blinds from the button, and a call from the limper. Now, this flop would benefit the limper's range. They'd have a lot more 8s, 6s, 2s even. Um, and especially with the okay, they called on the flop, but see, there it is, sixes. Um, and I was gonna say that because the button called on the flop, the range is capped. Fold this one too. Okay, so that's a 3 big blind raise from UTG plus 1. Uh, call from the low jack. So these should be tight ranges. Neither of them should have a lot of sixes or threes, in general, pocket or not. So it's a question of who has the ace, who's going to represent having the ace. Do either of them have an ace? Or maybe a pocket pair. Now you wouldn't probably you might not bet with a pocket pair if you're calling with ooh. You probably wouldn't. You might call with jacks, but kings or queens probably raise, right? And now there's this check raise. So plus one is saying they have at least that ace. Now they could be. Now that's a blank. So it gets through, so we'll never know what they had. .5 raise from the button. Standard open. And it folds. Blinds fold. And the low jack makes it 3.5 big blinds. And everyone folds. 3.5. I keep seeing people open 3.5. That's a weird number to me. Like, you'll see people open, like, 2.5's like the standard. 3 is like the live, old school standard. 4, if you're isolating a limper or a lot of recreational players will make it 4 if they've got a big hand. 3.5. And people don't always open that size. Maybe they have like Jack 10 suited, and I'm not even talking about the hand in front of me. I'm just still going on about this. Maybe they have Jack 10 suited, so it's not good enough for 4 big blinds, but too good for 3. And call down with a weak ace. But good enough. 6. Is that Annie? What is that? Why is the pot 6? I'll call, because small pocket pair, gap position, and a flush draw. And I could get runner, straight flush. Do I bet now? I think the pocket pair has the dominant value. And I wouldn't want to get check raised. Okay, so there's 9 cards that can complete my flush. So I've got about an 18% chance to hit. I'm gonna fold. And that was a good fold. Why was there a 1 cent in the middle? Oh, on the cutoff with Queen Jack suited. They fold, I'm gonna raise. Oh, now I'm gonna raise 10. Because I want to isolate one of those limpers, and I wanted that to not happen. I didn't want the button to call. Sitting out. Okay, so I'm gonna check. We have marginal value. There's 3 cards to flush out there. I don't think they had that flush. I mean, you wouldn't check it back. I mean, I think I might check now for pot control. Ah, king is not what I wanted to see. But I'll bet 7 cents. Maybe block, and they had the king. But they didn't bet they weren't able to bet bigger. I thought about betting on the turn. Unfortunate. Such is life. Was that King 9 offsuit? I don't know how to... Okay, Replay... Okay, they had King 9 suited. Ugh. But if I had bet on the turn and they'd called, then my bet on the river would have been bigger. Or I would have checked and then maybe called their bet. Now, I'd love to play this from late position, but we're too early up. And maybe, like, you could argue, probably not deep enough. I'm at 40 big blinds. But, in position... if I had opened, I'd be in position. But the small blind bet, the flop, I could have raised it there. I could have taken that pot. Okay, Jack 10 suited on the big blind. If they bet, I'm going to 3-bet. If they bet, I'm going to 3-bet. Come on. Ugh. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. No. I could have played it if it folded to me, but no, I'm not going to limp in with that. I don't know if you could see that, but I just checked OBS to see how long I'd been recording. I missed the action. Okay, do they have the flush? I feel like the pot would be bigger if someone caught a flush on the turn. Do one of them have the king, the jack, a set? There's the king. King, queen on the button. Yeah, I'm going to 3-bet if... Oh. Oh, come on. Come on. Technical error. Am I not playing enough hands? Why? I'm about to say. Okay, so the nuts here would be straight, a set. 2 pairs pretty good. I want to bet because if they are drawing to a flush, I want to charge them for it. Now, that really doesn't change anything. If they had Jack 10, they would be... yeah, they'd be raising already. And a blank. So what do we think, chat? I might go all in. Maybe they have an ace. Maybe a king or queen. Maybe a 9. They have an ace. King 10 suited. Hell yeah, fold to me. Be fold. Now I wonder what they're doing that with. Because it's just... There's no situation where shoving pre-flop is... like, essentially open shoving pre-flop. Because, like, either you're lacking the equity to make it a profitable move, or you're making it less likely to get called when equity's in your favor. Then again, it's, 80 cents. They could just like their hand. Hmm. You know, for the longest time, I would get unbearably stressed playing cash. Like, I started playing poker. Like, initially, I mean, I remember my first hand of poker. It probably wasn't real poker, but it must have been like 2003. Like, at the start of the poker boom. I think I have. I'm not going to go into detail, but I have a memory of like sitting under the slide with another kid, and um, you know, dealing out a hand of cards to each of us. I remember it being just 5 card, not draw, just uh. I remember stacking the deck. Look, I was like 6. Um, but when I started getting fascinated with the game, uh, was playing Red Dead Redemption, and I'm gonna raise to 3. This is a decent hand. It's a decent hand to play from the small blind. Like, like if it's full, if it to open from the small blind, because again, wide ranges in that scenario. Okay, now that's interesting action. Like 4.5 and a call, both in early position. They should have very tight ranges. Like, the person calling should basically just have ace queen suited. Like, that is, um, see, they're both likely to have an ace if we're playing sensibly, but who knows? +1 could have 7s, 7-5, 5s. Probably not 7-5, but this is Microstakes. Near pot. And they bet and gotten cold. Who knows? We'll never know. We'll never know what they had. But we know what we have right now. We have kings. And there's been an open. Probably raised 18 cents. Ooh, 2 victims. 18 cents. Do I count for the other one? Nah. See if I'll get re-raised. Just don't put an ace. Okay, that's. Now they're betting out. They're saying they have that queen. They're betting quick. That was a bluff. It was a good bluff. But, them calling the initial raise and then calling the 3-bet, they probably have a lot of queens in their range. They could have queen 10. They could have queen jack. I have a lot of aces in my range. King queen. King queen off. King queen suited. Ace queen. And they're betting very quickly. Like, out of position. Pair of fours. Oh, I wish I was paying attention to that hand. You know what? Let me see a replay. Let me see a replay of that. Oh, I hope it's on my screen. Okay, okay. Ugh. Whatever. But I don't think the person to my right was betting heavy with their ace high. They were just calling down. Completely missed that hand. Hey, he would have got 2 pair. Actually, it would have been counterfeited. Because there's already a pair of 9s on the board. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get rid of the branding as effectively as I could last time. But, like, I'll also tell you in the video, don't like this company. Should I censor that just in case? I might cut that out just in case, or mute it. What could they have? Ace king off. Ooh, we get to see kings. What? They called with 6-5 off. Was that a misclick? It was like, that hand's not even good for bluff catching. What are you hoping for? That they've gone all in with 5 high? Okay. Awesome. Resume hand. Oh, yeah! Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, I did get lucky. Oh, that was pure luck. But oh, what an incredible feeling to have someone bet into me. Uh, like, I love it whenever I have an easy call and someone's betting all in. Fantastic. Oof. Oh. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Because, like, Ace King is supposed to block aces and kings. But it feels like I run into kings more than aces. I'm not sure that makes a difference. Or, like, I feel like I run into kings more than I lose a flip. See, that's why you don't go in with top pair. Like, or that's why you don't go all in with, you know, I'm gonna say what you consider to be your best hands, but um, that person was going all in for value. They did it with kings. We saw they did it with a pair of aces. Um, so they're going all in for value, but in ways that, in a way that is just making sure that they're only going to get called by better hands. Because uh, except for that one time, the absolute mad lad to our right called down with 6-5 off. Okay, ace queen. Hmm. I'm gonna be nitty and fold this. Because it's an open from early position. And I'm on the low jack. So it make this spot really difficult to play, especially with Jesus. I mean, okay, I would have gotten paid off, but maybe that was a nitty fold, but they could have also bluffed me off of it on, like, on that turn, my, top pair wouldn't feel so strong. And also, there's no telling what the action's going to be like behind me. If someone calls, I'm out of position. If uh, someone raises, then I'm probably gonna have to fold. But I don't know. Maybe I was being nitty. Maybe I should have called there. And I'm not gonna look it up. Like, I spent so much time, uh, doing drills and looking at the solver. I still haven't finished reading Modern Poker Theory, but I think I put too much pressure on myself. I put too much, you know, information, not enough practice, and I also had like a bad run. Like, I kept losing. Uh, like, I kept getting drawn out on real bad. Um, and that in itself. What the fuck are they doing? was such a big bet. Okay, we might end up doubling our money this hand, or losing everything. Ugh. I'm gonna check, because, I have the ace, I'm blocking the nut flush. I thought they would try and steal it, so I've missed out on some value there. Uh, Maybe I should have bet bigger. I should have bet bigger. Should have bet the turn. But I was hoping that the person to my right, if the turn checked through, they might take a stab at it. But c'est la vie. No, I didn't get the maximum on that hand. Check. Czechoslovakia. Chicorino. Fold. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 1 is when I started playing poker, getting into it. I really got into it. Like I would carry, like I'd carry around a deck of cards and a bag of change to use as chips. Like no money, change in hands. Just enjoying the game, just thinking through hands. Like it's always been about like trying to figure out what's going on for me. Like I feel like I can get a pretty good beat on someone. Uh, Playing no limit. Like if I'm just in, or just playing any form. Like uh, every time I've played Omaha high low, I felt very confident, very, you know, in it. Uh, Kept winning every time I played, but not one for. Don't usually play Omaha. Don't usually play split games. Like uh, one of the other like Microstakes games that's running a lot is the high-low stud, which is one thing I will give this site. I do appreciate the amount of games they have, because the programming's different from each one, and a lot of sites, like you can look at this and tell that it's an old site. It's been around for a bit. The newer sites tend to just have no limit hold'em or no limit hold'em pot limit Omaha. Uh, but I remember um, that I had that like people reading perspective on it. That's sort of like more old school sort of feel poker. Uh, and I don't know why I felt this way, but I remember um, trying to start looking into more formal theory, and just sort of bouncing off the probabilities of it. Like for some reason, it felt like impure to the strategy aspect. It's stupid, but I was like 15 at the most. But I do remember taking a deck of cards and a bag of change on a backpacking trip. Like lugged it around up mountains, very very far. It's just delighted to have people to play with. The people to play with me. And what's funny is like, life happens and bouncing off of it with the probabilities, being put off by the maths, uh, put off by variance. Because believe it or not, I'm not much of a gambler. I've never been in a casino. I mean, I think I might have poked in like one of the shit ones. This just slot machines, and it's just depressing to be in. Oh, we would have had two pair. Um, but like I don't even like playing like scratch off tickets. Like the only time I've bought a scratch off ticket as an adult, uh, I did it once, and I was praying. I was just like, I just need 10 grand, and I'll be comfortable. Just uh, so I had, I'm 90. Like that was definitely gambling, but at the same time, the motivation wasn't gambling. It was just the desperate desire to have, the universe drop 10 grand on me. I mean, I did end up finding a job that, when it ran its course, Jesus, when it ran its course, it left me with about 10 grand in savings. So I got my 10 grand, just not off the ticket. Well, anyway, I dropped off of poker for a while, and got into other things. I'm not going to go into detail. You're not getting that lore. Got me a sip of cola. Um, but what got me back into it is in 2023, we got a PS4 for the household, and got Red Dead Redemption 2. And I was like, I remember loving. I I never finished the first one because I'd always get stuck at Thieves Landing. And I'm going to fold. I'm not going to erase that. Are you crazy? But I just playing Liar's Dice too. I love a good minigame. Like, I feel like I've played more pool and the that cube game. Uh, I feel like I've played more of the mini games in uh, GTA 4 than anything else in the game. But really, really loved Red Dead 2. I mean, it's a masterpiece. Um, but I was really now I have my reservations about uh some changes they made. Like I don't like the very limited variety of stakes. Like you've got like 250 in um uh I would check if I had trips. And if I still had trips, I would bet for thin value. I don't know why I'm representing this. I have showdown value, but turn it into bluff. Oh, look at that. But I got really into the poker game they have. Because again, I'm not much of a gambler. Let's make this 24. Oof, I have them covered. So, ooh, I'm supposed to bet a lot into this. At the same time, if it's a very dry board, so if I check and let them bet. Okay, now I'm definitely betting. Um, what would I bet if I was trying to get them to fold? I think I'd bet 30 cents if I was trying to get them to fold. So it looks like a bluff. Yeah? I don't think he has. I mean. Oh, I would have gotten. I'm getting two pair. But, another thing that's frustrating, because I did go back and play the first one. I'll get back to the second one, but, oh, they're afraid of me. One thing that, might have contributed to me sort of falling out with, uh, poker for a while is that, especially with, like, playing in Red Dead 1, there's a lot more variance because the computer's not good. Um, I think that's what I got frustrated with because, like, it felt like Blackjack had more strategy to it. Um, and really, it's just that the way the computer's set up, it just creates a very high variance game. But I don't know if realistic's the right word. It does, like, playing in, Red Dead 2 does feel a lot closer to what it's like to actually play poker with people for money. Um, like I think maybe one had more of a play money element. Like if you know, you know. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But like, there's a difference between how people play with play money and how people play with real money. Like especially online because people are probably not taking it seriously. A lot of people just or don't even know how to take it seriously. Like there's a lot more pride on the line if you're playing in person. If you're playing play money in person. Um but Yeah, Red Dead 2 has much better AI for the poker playing. I really, really enjoyed playing it. And, well, it started off that, there's that achievement for the gamblers challenges. There's a challenge where you have to bust, I think, everyone at every table. Um, and Flatneck Creek was kicking my ass. That's the train station one where you save your buddy. And it's also how the game introduces poker to you. And the characters keep making kid poker references. Like, they keep saying, oh, this isn't kid poker. If you don't know, kid poker is Daniel Negreanu. But it's a tough game. And I remember I even Googled, is Flatneck Station, not Creek, Flatneck Station rigged? Um, so I started reading up on poker theory. Like, of just starting with simple things of, like, you know, navigating position, bet sizing, uh, how are you approaching the flop? How are you approaching the turn and the river? Um, how are you making decisions pre-flop? And I think I started reading theory on the Poker Bank, or at the very least, that was the site that I got, like, really into reading, like, all their beginner section, like, just everything they had. Like, I was just compulsively always on my phone reading poker theory. And eventually I beat the challenge. Still having fun, still interested. Um and went to the local bookshop, look in their secondhand section, and it's a poker player must have died, because I'm just totally not paying attention to the game. But a poker player must have died because uh, there was just a bunch of there was Super System 2. They didn't have an original Super System. They also had Volume 2 of Harrington, but not Volume 1. It's odd. But they had the little green book. Maybe Hold'em for advanced players. I don't exactly remember. Maybe, no. I think I might have gotten Education of Poker Player Online. But they also had Biggest Bluff. They had Big Deal, of course. Quintessential. And I spent a lot of time sitting and reading about poker, sitting and playing poker in Red Dead, and then while waiting for my turn, or for the action to go around, reading poker. Um, and one thing that made Red Dead really good for practice was being able to, like, take as long as I wanted on my turn. Which, that's also something that kind of fucked me up with getting with playing cash online, is that Red Dead, where for a while that was my main experience of poker, was playing Red Dead. Um, and you have an infinite amount of time, and then like I'm not going to name the sites because fuck them. They don't pay me. But there's one with free daily game. And you have like 24 seconds, and then there's here where you have like 6 seconds in a time bank. Um, and watching the time go down, it does make it hard to make good decisions. Like it just makes your brain panic. Uh, oh wow, I've been going for an hour. Anyway, um, I might do one more orbit and call probably not call it a night, but be done with recording. But anyway, this was a few years ago. A lot of personal stuff going on at the same time. Like studying poker really helped me stay grounded, just like or like to cope because I wasn't playing. I was so fucking stressed. Like I was, just struggling to just cope with this the pressure of playing for real money, but also being engaged with this thing that I've spent so much time dealing with the theory that there's this fear whenever you're taking something seriously of like, what if I suck? And that makes it really hard to start because, well, if you don't have experience, yeah, you probably do. It's fine. This is where you start. Um, mm, fold. And also the time and just making decisions. Uh, but I camped that up and spent last year because it was December 23. I got all the books and I kept ordering them. Um, just just enjoying reading theory and just curious how the game works because it's visually seems very simple. Um, but the dynamics of it, like I used to set up a um 9 max. Like I got some cheap poker chips, and in the room that's now the cat's room. For a while, it was going to be the office, but uh, he was born outside and he's half blind, so we had to take him in. Because, you know, we're not gonna just leave a half blind cat outside. Um, but in the temporary office, as it turned out to be, I set up a 9 max game that I would just go through the hands, just look through them, you know, and play against myself, just to see the sort of way, get a bird's eye view of how the inertia of a hand works through. It gives you a chance to see a lot of hands and try and think in terms of like, you know, uh, if I didn't know what the other hands were, what would I do with this? Why? And you can also learn things like, uh, get a sense of how your playing affects variance, because it's so funny. Like, I remember, because I actually went had to get Super System 1, the original, delivered before I wanted to start Super System 2. Um, but interesting. Now, oh, ace jack. Ooh, and I'm on the hijack. I get called by the cutoff. Ooh. Now, do they have sixes in their range lots? Eights? Pocket pairs? Pocket pair would probably want to um or flush draws. I don't like it. I mean, I could draw out to a flush, but okay, let's try this again. Two people sitting now making it a 6 max. Get the fuck out of here. uh Awesome. Okay. Um I'm gonna bet 6, because oh, okay. So what, King Jack? They're saying they have Ace Queen, Queen 10. I'll call. King Jack! Oh my god. Lucky motherfucker. Yeah. I think I have 40 cents if I hit. Okay. I might have the best hand. I might have the best hand. Like, although I am second guessing whether I would have gotten 40 cents for my troubles. Hey! I think I might fold. But they really get runner for a straight. Called drawing to a gut shot. Anyways, last year, other than doing, playing my playing all the positions by myself, I also got into playing the free game. Won like $100 doing that. Um, Struggled to get myself to play cash. I also didn't have a lot of energy, so like doing a tournament, even like doing a hyper, was difficult. Like the idea of sitting and playing poker for 20 minutes, let alone 2 hours, was it was a tall order. I just really poured myself another glass of cola. Winner, winner. Really struggled with the finding a practical. Um, there's that 3.5 again. But I had a hard time getting like the practical elements in because I was just studying, but I wasn't playing at all. I didn't have like a practical experience to relate to, and that probably uh, hampered my learning. And why is there raise? Oh, and there's oh well shit. Should I have raised bigger? Oh, re-raise from the button. 20 cents. Call. Okay, so we have middle pair. Okay, there's a check. So are they checking with top pair? Maybe. But are they checking two streets with top pair? I could have a flush, or this could be a bluff. And we'll call it down. There we go. Wow. Wow, that was a good call. And it's not even the money. That's like winning money is fun, but yeah, it's that feeling of like just making a really good decision of just thinking through of like, well, I don't think you have the queen. I don't think you have the flush. I'm gonna give him a chance to try and bluff because I do have value. So now, do I bet for value? Nah. Maybe I could have checked and seen if they were gonna try and bluff, but I just called them down. So maybe not. I should fold this. But, like, it's just very satisfying. Like, once you get all the nuts and bolts down, all the elements, uh, you know. I hate it's a lot of guesswork, but... Ace Jack on the cutoff. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. UTG opens to 3. I'm gonna call. Maybe I should have... Okay. They have a lot of... They do have aces in the range. They have kings, queens. Okay, flop checks through. I don't think they have ace queen. They might have ace queen. If they have ace queen, I'm, you know, feeling wriggly. Maybe they have a king. Maybe they'll chuck. Maybe they'll check it to me. I'll check it down. Oh, you fuck. Oh, you fuck. Okay. What dooms me? Aces, kings, nines. I feel like they have ace king or ace queen. Does ace queen check on... You know, I'm eliminating raising. I feel like they have... I feel like they have 2 pair. I feel like I should fold. I'm so tempted to call, though. Fuck. Fuck. Raise to 4. Damn. I don't know, was that nitty? See, that's why I should have fucking folded from the start. Because, like... Maybe they have king, queen. I can also see checking ace, queen on that flop. Ugh. But also, like... You know, pot-sized bet. I feel like I don't... I feel like that's not a bluff often enough. Like... Because they could have easily turned 2 pair, you know? Well, maybe not. Maybe not, because, like, turn was a 6, river was a deuce. So, could have checked 2 pair on the flop. Would you bet ace queen like that? If I've already called. You know, maybe thinking I have a worse ace. Maybe trying to get a worse ace. I don't know. Comment below. Should I have called that? Because I was in the middle of saying something. God, I didn't even consider the pot odds. Because I think it's like, if I think I have 33% chance of being good, um, I don't know. I guess I just didn't see any bluffs they might have, and you know, they're betting like someone who flop value. Maybe I read the situation wrong, but gosh, and see, like that's interesting. That's interesting to think through. You know, it's interesting to be put to that kind of decision. Um, with lasting consequences. But yeah, I wasn't able to play a lot. Yeah, still did okay, but like late last year, I started trying to get into cash more. I started to try and you know take it even more. Take it like really seriously because um it felt like I had the passion to make a go of it. Um, or maybe it's better to put that like I was already acting like I was trying to make a go of it, like just in terms of like study and passion. That I just gradually accepted that that's what I was doing. Um, and then I hit a brick wall with my studying. Uh, just really, really struggled with the like higher level like range theory and I don't know how Sheep Stations is playing. I've got 2 overs. Bink. Maybe I'll check again, see if I can get one of them to bet for me. At the same time, it's like, you know. Oh! Okay. I'll call this raise. Oh, please have 2 pair. Oh. Uh. What could they have raised me with? 8-4, 8-5, 5-4? Hmm. Ooh. Three of a kind! You fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking eights. Man, I wasn't even thinking of sets. That makes so much sense. Ah, fuck me. Didn't even consider. Didn't even consider. Anyway, I got like really into it. Like, I still have things on my wall. I have notes. I have goals. Like, I was setting monthly goals. Trying to get a certain amount of studying in, watching videos, exercise. Review. Fold. But that price, forget about it. Um, and I kept running bad. Uh, like, just really, really frustrating hands. I was getting upset. Uh, like, if like that bad hand of like two pair against uh a set, I would have gotten upset about that. Um, and I took a break for a week, and that became 2 weeks, and that became months, and it wasn't until fairly recently that uh like I started playing again, and it's like the passion's back, but the fear isn't. So I'm finally getting a decent amount of practice actually playing. Uh, on the hijack with Queen 9, I think I can open that up. Don't you fucking you piss. You little shit. But like I'm not studying. Like, I'm not even really doing like I'm not even doing review. Like uh like sometimes I'll do a write up of a hand I find interesting, but um ooh, ace jack suited. Oh, oh. Mm-hmm. I might raise them. Because there's a flush out there, there's a straight out there. I'm gonna bluff at this. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Fuck. What? God, what the fuck? Maybe I could have bluffed, but like, what was that turn call? You know, I figured they at least had, you know, club in their hand. So it was like, yeah, I'm done with it. There's 4 clubs on the board. I don't have a club in my hand. With a fucking 10. Like, they turned a 10. My God. I'm probably gonna go all in with this one. Like... Oh, raise from the button. Do I 3-bet or do I flat it? Oh, that'd be a 4-bet. I'm out of position, so I kind of want to just raise again. Because, like, that's a big raise. I'm going to flat it. Okay. Oh, and I'm gonna sit and wait, because I've got the stone cold nuts. Imagine, oh, I really hope they have a fucking draw to that flush and hit it. Oh, I'm so sorry I made that noise. Okay. Oh, I hope they have the flush. Do I bet small? Like I'm trying to do a blocker bet? Yeah! I was hoping I was going to get raised by that flush. I think if I was in position, I would have bet bigger. Oh, fold. Oh, come on. Jesus. If they have a 2, they're just gonna take my money. But, how big was that bet? Jesus. Hey! Lucky there. Maybe if it folds to me? Nope. There's a 1 seat over. If I was 1 seat over, I'd be happy. I'd be happy to call. But yeah, I've been playing a lot lately. I'm doing good this session, but like lately I've been losing a lot of all-ins. I think I'll also call from here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna... 3-bet. Ooh. Mmm. Num 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 num. Okay, I have some back doors. Probably don't have aces. Maybe kings, queens, jacks. Maybe a pair. And now I have the draw to the nut flush. Do I raise it up? I'll click it back. Oh, fuck. Fuck. I could blast away, but I don't want to. Hey, look at that! Damn, we're nearly at 2 hours. Like, it's insane, because, like, it used to be after 20 minutes, I'd just be too overwhelmed by it and would have to quit. Speaking of quitting, yeah, I think I'm going to sit out the next big blind. And I think that'll be it. Well, thank you for joining me. Maybe, let me know if you want to see more, oh, fuck. I didn't want to roll over the next hand. I'll just block this again. It's fine. But if you want to see more poker content, leave a comment. If you want me to play Schedule 1 again... Oh, I peaked the audio a little there. Sorry about that. If you want me to play Schedule 1 again, let me know. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. If you have any questions, then leave them in the comments. Try to address them. And thanks for watching.